Hello, welcome to this very gentle yoga class for seniors. We do the practice in a chair and it lasts for about 30 minutes. We start with some breath work, do some movement called asanas in yoga, where we stretch muscles and get our blood flowing, all of the fluids in the body flowing, like synovial fluid, which lubricates your joints, lymph, which helps to promote a healthy body, and blood, which helps to nourish the body. So the more we move, the more we can encourage the flow of all those fluids in the body that help to keep us healthy. If you like this practice, I hope that you'll hit the like button down below and perhaps hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when I post new programs. So let's get started. So find a comfortable chair. It could be a dining room chair, kitchen chair, preferably a chair without arms, but if you want arms, that's fine. Sit with your feet flat on the floor parallel to each other. So you want everything lined up. Knees are over the ankles, shoulders are over the hips. Let the sternum and the crown of the head float up as if there's a little string pulling them up towards the ceiling. So you feel a little length in the spine. And draw the navel gently in towards your spine. Not so much to create tension, but just a little drawing in to help support that verticality in the body. So we're going to start with a few breaths, mindful breaths, to help center us and let go of any distractions that might be coming in to pull us away from the practice. And you can practice this breathing with your eyes open or with your eyes closed, whatever you're comfortable with. If you keep your eyes open, you might keep the gaze soft down towards your lap or towards the floor so that you're not distracted by any movement that might be going on around you. And once you get settled there, just begin to breathe as you normally do. But pay attention as you breathe. So notice how the breath feels as it comes in and out. And you can breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, which is typical. But if you're more comfortable breathing in through the nose and out through gently parted lips, out through the mouth, that's also okay. And for 2 or 3 breaths, just don't make any changes. Just notice what's there. You might notice that the breath is shallow. It might stop high up in the chest cavity. And if you discover that it is shallow, you might gently encourage the breath to go a little deeper. So that might mean lengthening it, just taking a little more time to bring the breath in. One of the effects of noticing the breath, being mindful about the breath, is it often helps to quiet the mind, that incessant chatter, our internal critic that's just always so busy. And when we distract that attention and bring it to the breath, we can let go of all that activity and just settle down. Which is one of the reasons that mindful breathing helps to slow the heart rate, lower blood pressure, and generally bring a sense of calm to the body. So let's take 2 or 3 more of these mindful breaths before we begin to breathe, with our breath guiding our movement. And after your next exhale, simply open your eyes. And we'll begin the practice today by moving the spine in all of the directions that it's capable of moving. One is to elongate, to extend the spine. So that happened when we sat really tall, lifting the sternum and the crown of the head. So finding length in the spine so you're not settling down but lifting up. So extending into the spine. And then we will do some lateral extensions, some side bends. So bring your hands down by your sides. Now I'm going to suggest that you bring your arm out to the side and up overhead. But if that is too much on your shoulder, you might bring your hand to the top of your head, or you might bring your hand to your shoulder. So wherever you can go comfortably. The other arm is just hanging freely down by your side, or it can be holding the chair for support. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, take a lean over to your right. So your left arm is up, and you're leaning to the right. You might feel a nice stretch through the left side of your body, and I encourage you to breathe into that space. So this nice lateral stretch over to the right. See if you can relax your shoulder. Try not to create tension in the body. So if you've gone too far and you're struggling, just back out of it a little bit, just enough to get a stretchy feeling, a nice little elongation through the left side. And then on your next inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Take that left hand down this time. Either let it hang or bring the hand to the chair. And again, you have the option of bringing your right hand to whatever space works for you and your shoulder. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, take a little lean, this time to the left. So this lateral extension, this time over to the left. So we've moved left and right with our spine, taking those nice little crescent shapes into the body and into the spine. And then bring yourself back up. So the next movement, two movements of the spine, is rotation. We'll rotate to the right and we'll rotate to the left. So take your left hand onto your right thigh and bring your right hand either beside you if that's comfortable or behind you if that's comfortable, keeping everything facing forward. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, just let the rotation move you to the right. So the hips are staying steady. We're rotating through the ribs and the shoulders. And maybe the head will turn. But if your neck is tender or tight, you might not go very far with that. Just explore it. But you never want to move into pain. So if you encounter pain in any of these movements that I'm asking you to do, just back out of them. So while we hold here in this rotation, just take a nice couple of big deep breaths into the lungs. Breathe in and let it out. And then breathe in and let it go. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to center. And we'll take that rotation to the other side. So the right hand will come to the left thigh, and the left hand will hang freely down by your side or hold the chair. Maybe it goes behind you. Sit nice and tall, always creating length for creating space for the spine to rotate, and then take that rotation this time to the left. And the chin can stay in the center. You can look gently towards the back shoulder if your neck is ready. And take a couple of breaths here. Remember to keep staying tall. So imagine a string at the top of the head just kind of lifting you up towards the ceiling. A couple of breaths here. And then come back to the beginning. So we'll do some undulations of the spine, leaning forward, drawing the shoulders back, lifting the heart. Exhaling, leaning back, drawing the shoulders forward and tucking the chin. So coming forward, lifting the heart, drawing the shoulders back, sitting back, shoulders come forward, and the chin tucks. So forward and back. So it's important to move the spine in all of its possibilities at least once a day, very gently there. Come to a nice tall spine. because that helps to encourage the flow of spinal fluid, and that spinal fluid helps to make range of motion possible. It helps to keep your spine healthy as the discs between each of the vertebrae can be plumbed up. Very nice. So we're going to start to work on the neck. So relax the shoulders down, rest your hands on your lap. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, just turn your head to the right. Without forcing it, just go as far as it can comfortably go. And then inhale back to center, and exhale, let it go over to the left. And then inhale back to center. And one more time to the right. Try to keep the spine nice and tall. Inhale back to center, and exhale to the left. So we're going to do this one more time in each direction. So inhale back to center, and exhale to the right. Back to center, and then to the left. And come back to center. Great. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, just let your head nod over to your right shoulder. So your ear is dipping. You might not go super far. Take your right hand, bring it to your shoulder, your left shoulder. And just begin to kind of walk your fingers up the side of your neck, across the top of your shoulder. Kind of exploring, looking for any knots or tightness, tender spots. And if you find one, just pause there. And you might give a little acupressure, couple of fingers, pointer and middle finger, just pressing into that tender spot or knot that you might discover. And then maybe making little circles with a bit of pressure. Moving those circles in one direction and moving them in the other. And then letting the pressure stay right on that knot. I think most of us can find a knot or two along this track. Then take your head back up. Keep the pressure on that little knot that you found. And bring the head to dip over to the left. Try to relax everything, even that knot that you found. And just breathe here for a breath or two, keeping the pressure right on that little tender spot. And then bring your head back up. Take your right hand back to your lap. And then take a nice breath in and let the head nod over to the other side. So your ear is dipping towards your left shoulder now. Your left hand is going to come over to your right shoulder. And the same process, just kind of walking your fingers up across the shoulder, maybe right behind the shoulder, along the upper back, and then up the neck. Discovering maybe some little knots. Find the one that's calling most to you. The loudest one gets the attention, right? Take those two fingers, pointer and middle finger, and just do a little press, a little acupressure on that tender spot. Excuse me. And then maybe keep the pressure on and draw little circles, just kind of going in circular motion around the knot. And then keeping the pressure right on that knot, bring your head back up and tilt it over to the right. Relax your shoulders, kind of just let that knot try to release itself. It might release all the way, it might release a little bit, maybe it's not ready to release at all. But you're giving it a go. And then bring your head back up. And bring that hand down onto your lap. This time we're going to nod our head and lift our head. But as we lift our chin, we want to keep the back of the neck nice and long. So to help with that, we're going to interlace our fingers and put our hands behind our head so that we don't throw our head back too far. So on an inhale, lift the chin, kind of press the head into the hands. And then bring the chin to neutral and down towards your chest. So just let the head float up and down as you support the neck with your hands. Little frog in my throat today. Next time your chin is up, just kind of hold there as you press your hand under the support of those hands. You press the head into the support of your hand. And then bring the chin down. And even though the chin is down, just press into the hands here. Create a little tension, kind of a resistance, if you will, as you press the head back. And then bring the chin to neutral and release the hands down onto you. And we'll move into our shoulders. We're going to start working on our shoulders. And we're going to do it by drawing circles, making circles with our shoulders. So bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Bring them forward and down. Draw them back and up. Forward and down. And back and up. So we're drawing forward rolling circles. Always important to keep consciously breathing as we do our movements. So when we do these circles, we're not only working into the shoulders, we're also warming up the muscles in the back. You might feel your shoulder blades moving towards each other and away from each other as we make these movements. And then we're going to pause. Bring our shoulders up and go backwards, down and forward and up. So now we've just switched the direction of those circles. Try to stay relaxed. And the hands, as you might notice mine, kind of floating along, moving across my thighs as I make these rotations. You might do that, or you might keep your hands stationary, whatever's comfortable for you. One more circle, and then just relax your shoulders down. Great. We're going to bring our feet a little wider than they currently are, maybe as wide as the legs of your chair. With your hands on your lap, we're going to draw circles with the upper body. You might imagine that you're drawing circles on the ceiling with your head. The spine is just rotating, and we're moving from these hip creases here. And these circles can stay really small, if that's better for you, or they can get large, if that feels good. Notice what direction you're moving in so that you can reverse that direction. Eventually coming to stillness with a nice tall spine. And bring your feet just a little bit closer together. Great. We're going to bring our arms down by our sides. And we're going to step our left foot forward, resting on the heel, and then coming back. And the right. And the left. And the right. So we're lengthening, touching, tapping with our heel, toes are up. And then pausing. And then we're going to move alternate arms. So we're going to do up, not as high, only as high as the shoulders. If you want to go super high, you can go ahead and bring it up, but it's not necessary. We're reaching our hands forward, but staying connected to our shoulder socket, so we're not reaching so far that our body leans. We're staying nice and tall. So now comes the challenge. We're going to do opposite leg and opposite arm. So left foot and right arm and back. Right foot and left arm. And then back. Opposite, left and right, and opposite. And opposite. And opposite. Two more on each side. One. And two. Great. Good job. So now we're going to do some reaching up towards the ceiling as if you're trying to pick apples out of a tree that's kind of tall. So we're going to take our left arm and reach it up. And again, you are the judge of how far you can go. You want to honor the limitations of your body. So the left arm comes up and pulls it down. We grab an apple, reach it up and pull it down. Reach it up and pull it down and up and down, up, reach. So 2 more on each side. Here's a 1. And 2. So now we are going to reach across our body. So I invite you to think about this. You know, when we sit a lot, we tend to have all of our goodies really close by on a table or something. So perhaps you might think about putting those items a little further out of reach so you have to stretch to get them. Really good exercise, even if you only do it every other day, kind of move the Kleenex out there a little bit. So what we're going to do is take our left hand and reach and then pull it back. So we're taking a little lean here. Take the right arm and reach. We're reaching across the body and back. So you might feel this along the back of the body as we take that stretch. Stay rooted down through the feet. Stay supported in this effort as you are reaching across the body and then bringing it back, reaching across and bringing it back. 1 more on each side. Bringing it across and then bringing it back. And the last one, bringing it across and bringing it back. Great. We're going to move into a series of movements in yoga called a sun salutation, simple sun salutation in a chair. So sit nice and tall. Bring your arms down by your sides. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead or as high as they can comfortably go. And as you exhale, come to cactus arms. We sometimes call these gold posts. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, take a little bit of a lean forward. Keep rooting down through the feet to support yourself. On an inhale, bring your hands to your thighs. Glide your hands towards your knees and reach your heart forward. So we're going to pause here, kind of parallel to the ground. And you can stay right here, but you have a couple of other options too. You can take the crown of your head and turn it down. Or you can keep the crown turning down and bring your hands towards your feet. That's totally up to you. To come up, we bring our hands back to our thighs if they've left the thighs. And on an inhale, we come back up. And the arms come back by your sides. So let's do that 2 more times. Inhale the arms up and exhale into cactus arms. Inhale, little lean forward. And then the hands come to the thighs. The heart reaches forward. The hands are supporting you here. Here's where you have that choice of turning the head down, drawing the shoulders back. Staying here, letting the hands come down towards your feet. To come up, hands come to the thighs. If they've left the thighs, press into the thighs and bring yourself all the way up. Nice. Hands down by your side. Last one. Inhale, the arms reach high. And exhale, you come into cactus arms. Inhale, a little lean. And exhale, hands glide all the way forward. You decide, stay right here with the crown of the head reaching forward, or turn the head down and bring the hands toward your feet. To come up, hands back to the thighs, press yourself up. And back into seated mountain pose, Tadasana. Just pause here for just a moment, breathing here. So these seated sun salutations can get the heart beating a little faster, get the body warming. We're using the big muscles in the upper body and really using our legs as well. So it's a good exercise for getting the blood flowing, right? Warming up the body. So we're going to take our left leg forward and lift it off the floor if you can. If you can't, just keep the heel down. And we're going to point and flex and point and flex, point and flex and point and flex. Circle into the ankle, circle and reverse. So the circles go in the opposite direction. Point and curl the toes and pull the toes back as you flex. We're getting a nice stretch in our calf and our shin. Flex and point. Bring that foot down. Extend the other leg. Again, the heel can stay down or you can float it up. Point and flex and point and flex. Point and flex and point and flex. Point and curl the toes and flex, press out to the heel. Point and curl the toes, flex. Point and flex. Now circle. Big, slow circles getting into that ankle joint. And then reversing. Bringing your feet down on the ground, maybe a little behind your knees. You can rest your hands on your lap. We're going to come up onto the balls of the feet and back onto the heels, lift the ball. So we're just rocking forward, heels lift, and back, toes lift. Down on the ball, heels lift, back, and the ball lifts. So we're just rocking forward and back. So we're getting a nice stretch into the muscles and the calf and the shin. And those are very important parts of our leg in that they are the pumps, if you will, that help pump the blood out of our feet, out of our legs, back to our heart. One more. Great. So we've moved everything from our head down to our toes. So now it's time to rest. So we rest in Savasana at the end of practice by finding a comfortable place to be. Maybe we lean back in the chair, rest our hands on our lap, maybe extend our feet or put a pillow behind our back. Close the eyes if you're comfortable with doing that. And we take this time at the end of practice in order to allow the body to integrate all the benefits of the movements that we've just performed. So I encourage you to sit here, relax, and sit in stillness and quiet for as long as you like. Taking nice, mindful breaths. Kind of scanning the body, seeing if you can relax any parts of you that still are kind of holding on. So a little body scan into the shoulders, see if you can relax. Down the arms and into the hands and fingers. Down the legs. Into the feet and the toes. So as you feel ready to end your practice, when you've had enough of this stillness, this beautiful integration piece of the practice, just slowly open your eyes. Kind of wake up, take in the room, go about your day. Until next time, namaste.